I am in Mina, Arkansas, and I'm on my way back home. So I figure we'll do something different. I'm going to spin you around in real time, and it'll be about a half an hour, I'd say. I don't know. Or until the battery goes dead on the camera. We'll film my drive home. You'll get to see a little bit of Mina and the beautiful drive home. And I will be talking while we're traveling, talking about what it's like to live rural and have to go shopping and what all's involved there. So I'm going to go ahead and spin you guys around. I think I got you set up good. Okay. Let me see if I can angle away from that dashboard a little bit. Tighten you up and let's head on out. Get you straightened up here. All right. Nice view of the blue sky. Let's roll. Okay. I just recorded my morning episode of Washita Mountain Living, and I don't know if I had the mic on. I hope the camera mic picked up. Well, we'll see. So it's about 30 miles. I'm not going to do a time lapse. We'll just do it in real time. And I forgot my sunglasses. Fortunately, the sun should not be in my eyes. Okay, hurry up, go, go, go. There's the Chinese buffet across the road there. Hopefully the sun's not in your beaks. It looks like it might be. We're going to be in the mountains here in a minute, and so the sun shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, I had to go to Walmart and get some beef liver for my dogs and get some ground turkey. They don't have those things in my local grocery store. But man, and I picked up some pork ribs I'm going to put on my new grill. That's the only meat I'm buying at Walmart. Their prices are absolutely insane. I don't know why they are higher than everybody else, but they are. It's crazy. They wanted like $57 for two big fat T-bones. They are out of their minds. I just didn't feel like driving to Fort Smith today to go to Aldi. And yeah, that sun's not in a good spot, is it? Maybe I can turn you guys away from it. I don't think it'll be too bad. We're gonna hit the trees here in a minute, so the sun will go away. But yeah, when you live rural like I do, everyday things, that if you live in a city, everyday things like going to the grocery store, going to Walmart, going to the Home Depot, all those things take up half your day. But living rural makes it worth it to me. So I don't mind it. It's, gives you time to think. And in this case, hey, it's giving me time to knock out 2 videos. And it's a nice drive. The only downside of roads like this is sometimes you're going to get stuck behind a log truck like this one here, or rock trucks where rocks are flying out at you, or feed trucks. And I got stuck behind a log truck on my way here, which is never any fun. Sometimes them guys are moving, but this one wasn't, because there's steep grades and everything you got to go through in these mountains. So that looks better. The sun went away. We got some tree cover. So what I try to do is, getting my dogs things, I bought about 6 packs of this liver. 1 pack will last. I cut it up, put it in the regular food, and it'll last, a week or so, a couple of weeks. So they don't get it every day. I'll make them some today. But they don't get it every day. It's Rooster's favorite thing to eat. And I fry it up in beef tallow, and I don't cook it very well. I mean, they can eat it raw, but my dogs will not eat it raw. So I cook it slightly, just enough where it's easy to cut. I cut it up in small cubes, and I'll add it to I give them canned blue buffalo. It's a little expensive, but it's real meat. I've actually tasted it. Doesn't taste too bad. and they like it. Now Rooster, she's picky. She's got her certain dinner she'll eat. She won't eat nothing else. Doesn't matter if it's good for you or not. So I try to give Rooster liver a lot. I get these expensive liver treats I order from Amazon. She loves them things. Sometimes to get her to eat, I'll sprinkle some of those on her food and she'll eat. Or a little bit of cheese. You know, every dog likes cheese. And then the bigger dogs get a minimum amount. I've almost got Lily down to all meat. But I add just a little bit of premium dry food and mix it in with the pate meat or whatever, just so it's easier for her to eat. Come on, dump now. Here's one of them rock trucks. Just far enough up. See, he ain't got that covered, I don't think. Yeah, he does. A lot of times they don't. All right, let me set the cruise. And we're going to be heading into the mountains here in just a second. Hopefully the battery will last, at least till I get to my road. I'm going to turn it off by then anyway. And what we got? Look like a chicken or a turkey was dead in the road there. Going to see a lot of roadkill. So it's just one of them things you get used to. You know, doing the shopping trips. You try to make the most of it when you do go. I really wanted to go to Aldi's today, but I didn't feel like, when I'm doing 3 videos now every day, I just didn't have, that's an hour there, plus the time in Aldi's, plus an hour back, and they didn't open till 9. So I would have had to leave later, where Walmart opens at 7. And I really, I still got things in my freezer. I didn't really need anything for me, just mostly for the dogs. And I picked up a few other, like ink pens. I always forget to buy ink pens, and I don't know where they go, man. They must run off with the sock, the sock that you can't find, where you only have the one sock. They must run off with the ink pens, because you can buy them by the box, and in 6 months you're out of ink pens. So now we're going to head into the nice area, the Ouachita National Forest. Like I said, it's 30-mile drive from the end of my road to Mina. I never used to come here very much, because back when I drank, I would do my shopping trips where they would sell alcohol. Well, I don't drink anymore, and now they sell, because I don't drink anymore, now they sell it in Mina. Yeah, they passed laws where they have liquor stores and beer and everything now. But for most of the years I've lived here, they didn't have any of that. Man, I have to come up with stuff to talk about for this trip. What was I doing? So yesterday, I went and I bought a swing, and I also bought a bunch of like red mulch. I'm gonna put some weed mat down back there. I've got some round posts. I'm gonna make a little area and pour that mulch down, so I have a nice area for that swing. I also got to level out the ground a little bit. But man, that's a nice area to go sit, and I should have bought one of them years ago, but I just didn't have the funds to be buying things like that years ago. And now that my YouTube channel's doing better, I can afford to get some of those things to enjoy my property more. Still want to get the shop, and we'll be doing that soon. I have decided not to build. Several reasons why. Man, it's not that I don't think I can do it. I think I can still do it. It just, I don't know. I got so many projects going. I don't want to start something that major. So I'm saving up. I'm going to buy a 40 by 16 building. Yeah, it's not going to be very wide, but it'll be long. And just for what I'm going to do in there, it's plenty big. There's going to be a lot of prep work that has to be done before I can bring the building in. I've got help with that. We talked about that yesterday. So once that foundation is good and level, because I don't want this building to be setting up high like my other shop, my laser shop. I don't want it to be that high. I want it really low to the ground. There's not going to be any plumbing in there, so I don't have to worry about getting underneath it to do plumbing. Let me turn you guys a little bit there. And all it's going to have is electric, and we're going to dig the ditch for the electric line. I also have to switch over my electricity on my house to 200 amp service. I currently only have 100 amp service. So adding a shop, I'm already at maximum. So I need to get that done. That's not going to be that difficult to do. And we'll be doing that in the next few months, I hope. And I've got some things to do in the living room. I've got a fireplace heater that I've got to install up there for this winter, just like the one I have in my new room. It's a little bit smaller, but it's plenty for in there. And that's really all I've been heating with. That house is so small and so well insulated. It doesn't take, a gas stove, or, it doesn't take much heat. And when there's times where it gets really cold, I do have the propane wall furnace. But generally, I only use that maybe once or twice every winter. So I don't even go through a whole tank of propane usually. I have the 40-pound tanks, and it's got to be a really cold winter to go through more than that. But most of the time I just run my electric bill is never more, running 3 heaters, it's never more than $175 a month. And so I don't have a mortgage, now I have a car payment, but I can still afford $174 a month. Now in the new shop, I'm considering putting a pellet stove. I just bought a new pellet grill, and I'm impressed on how very little pellets it uses to heat up that grill. And with talking with some people, the pellet stoves and it's going to be a very small one, but I think that would be the way to go with that. I just don't want to deal with cutting wood and dealing with buying wood, and my property only has so many trees, and I've pretty much cut down all the trees I'm going to cut down, so I don't want to have to deal with that. I especially don't want to deal with that 10 years from now, swinging an axe and splitting wood, and the people that sell it around here are not very dependable. I've noticed that, so I don't want to deal with that. So we're probably going to go either with a propane wall for heater or a pellet stove. I'm really looking at them pellet stoves because they're very efficient. It doesn't look like we're going to get stuck behind a truck. I'm hoping. Hopefully this camera's angled good enough for you guys to see. We're doing about 65. I'm in a 55. I should probably slow down because the highway patrol was up here earlier. I'll slow down to 62. They won't get you. I've only had one ticket since I've lived here in the entire 13 years I've lived here, and it sucked. I was going to pick up Libby. I saw Libby. If you guys have been with my channel, you remember Libby. But I saw her on Facebook, and they were going to put her down the next day. So I said, well, I'll take her. I drove all the way to Oklahoma, probably about 2 hours to get her. Met the person, got Libby in the truck. But on the way there, I got a ticket. I got gas. It was in my red pickup. I pulled out of a gas station, and I got immediately pulled over by the highway patrol. Female officer, she walks up. I said, how you doing, all that. So, sir, I pulled you over for not having your seatbelt on. Well, I had my seatbelt on. My seatbelt was on before I even started my truck. She said, no, I seen you put it on when you pulled out. I said, ma'am, and it matched the exact same color of my shirt. I said, I don't know how you could even see it, but it was on. I always wear my seatbelt. Well, I wasn't going to sit there and argue with her, and I took the ticket. It was a $50 ticket. But that's the only ticket I got, and I didn't deserve that ticket. And that was, I don't know, 10 years ago. I just don't, boy, it's a bad patch of road right here. I just don't do things to get a ticket. But I am going to speed this up a little bit. We got about half battery here. So you do get used to these drives, especially if you live in a nice area, where there's, national forest. You can see over here on this side and over here on this side, it's all national forest. And you go through the mountains. You're not fighting tons of traffic. I have nobody behind me, nobody in front of me, but that could change. At any given time, a logging truck could pull out in front of me and add time to my drive, but I'm retired. I am in no hurry to get anywhere. And it looks like there's more traffic on going south than there is going north. I'm currently heading north. And this is one of the reasons I bought this new car. Now this thing says right now it's getting 48 miles to the gallon. My truck would burn over a quarter tank of gas going to and from Mina. So 60 miles, quarter tank of gas in that F-250 versus, I'm down to a quarter of a tank here, and I'm not even worried because that needle's not even hardly going to move by the time I get home. So in it takes me less than a gallon of gas to get one way to Mina. So maybe a gallon and a half to do the round trip versus 5, 6, 7 gallons in the truck. So I look at this car as an investment. It's, in the long run, it's going to save me money. Yes, I have a payment now, and yes, I am making double payments because I want to pay it off quickly. And as long as I can, as long as my channel's doing okay, and this channel is surprising me. This channel is taking off very quickly by changing the format. The homesteading thing, niche, wasn't working. At minimum, I'd get, as I said in my video this morning on my main channel, at minimum, I'd get 3,000 views for a video that you spent all day filming and editing, and to me, it wasn't worth it. I'm just, with all the issues I have with my back and things, I just can't film projects like younger people can. I can't constantly stay there and work. I have to do it in between breaks. And I guess that never really made the videos that popular. So, I don't know where we're at on time. 18 minutes, something like that. We may not film the entire way back, but there's some really nice mountains coming up. We'll at least do that. But it looks like this sun's popping back out, but I think it'll go back behind the trees here in a second. So, yeah, I accidentally discovered that doing these kind of videos, talking videos, are much better for my YouTube channel. People seem to enjoy them. It's something I don't think I could have done 2 years ago because my mind wasn't as clear with the drinking, with the foods I was eating. My mind wasn't clear enough to just sit here and hit record and be able to talk without having to pause or jumble my words. I don't think that was possible. And I know that's probably the truth because I tried the podcasting and that just didn't, it did okay, but it just didn't go over that big because I looked terrible. I sounded terrible. I couldn't do what I'm doing now. Not that I'm doing great at it. Looks like we got some construction. Better slow down, find out what we got going on. Be prepared to stop. I guess that's what that red light means, huh? Stop. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. They need to be back about 5 miles and repairing that patch of road that's terrible. Looks like we got one of them cars you gotta follow, and my timing was perfect. Well, I guess we'll see what they're doing. I hate those things they put in the middle of the road. You drift off and you hit them. They wake you up. I guess they do what they're intended to do. And they not only put them in the middle, they put them on the shoulders too. Oh, excuse me. Let me get a drink of water. Looks like they're tearing up some pavement and putting in some patches. Well, they're really tearing it up. I hope this thing's still recording. Yeah, it is. This screen goes off after so long. I guess I got it set for 20 minutes. Hopefully this video turns out okay and I don't have to redo one, because I don't have time today. When I get home, I'm going to put the blade back. I bought a new blade for my brush cutter. I'm going to get out there and cut down some of that big tall privet. I used to cut all that stuff in my back property down a couple times a summer, and this year I just opted to let it grow, because I do have a better brush cutter. I opted to just let it grow, and then, you know, about this time of year, if I cut it down now, it's not going to grow back until next spring. And, you know, there's one section I'm never going to get that where I can get a tractor or a mower in there. It's just too many rocks. But the section that I cleared last spring, I should be able to get that where I can get the mower on it. It's going to need one more winter of work and picking up rocks, and the stumps that I cut a lot of those trees, those should be dry enough and dead enough now I can pull them out, or at least cut them down low enough to where the mower will clear. And where I cleared that, none of that really bad stuff came back. It's just stuff that will die when we get our first freeze. But I'm going ahead and knocking it down because I want all that dead foliage to fertilize that soil. And then I'm cutting down them wildflowers before they go to seed. I know a lot of you is like, leave the wildflowers. Well, the flowers I'm seeing, they don't even come out until September. So I'm sure they're still going to come back anyway. But what I've found with clearing this land is you just got to keep after it, and then, you know, the plant, you know, the stuff gets pissed off and it doesn't want to come back after a while. My whole back property was like that, where I had my fire pit, and you just cut it down enough times where it doesn't come back anymore. So a couple of years, that side, you know, where the dog cemetery is, that side of the property will be nice. It just takes patience, you know, but the thing of it is, we're aging through the years, and, you know, it's one of the reasons I guess I didn't plant any fruit trees, because I'm not going to be around probably to see the results of that. You know, big tree, you know, and I got plenty of trees. And then when you got trees in your yard, you got obstacles to mow around. It just takes longer. And I'm not a fruit eater. So, not anymore, I'm not. Fruit is sugar. And I don't eat sugar. A lot of people don't realize that. I'm not saying you couldn't eat fruit on a limited basis, but if you know, bananas, apples, oranges, those things, the minute you put them in your mouth, they produce sugar. And so if you got any diabetes in your family, that's not helping you. I never really ate a lot of fruit anyway. Once in a while I'd buy some oranges. I'd always buy bananas. I always heard bananas were really good for you. And, you know, they're probably not terrible for you, but they're not the best either. So I've changed a lot of the things I've ate. And, you know, I've been rewarded with better health and better agility. I can do a lot more things now that I couldn't do 10 years ago. And I'm older now, so that's a good thing. Well, I think we're almost there, folks, and you're probably bored to death. We'll go about another mile here, and my battery looks like it's about to go dead. Turn you around. Ah, there you are. Let me angle you up. So, keep in mind, the month of October is Dogtober. 100% of the revenue from this channel will be donated. That includes memberships, every view, every bit of ad revenue from this channel. On my main channel, I'm doing an additional video in the afternoon where 100% of the revenue from that video will be donated. So I'm only keeping the morning video revenue because I got a car payment now, you know. I got to have something because I'm doing this full time now. So, but I do appreciate y'all watching. If you're new to my channel, checking me out for the first time, why don't you consider subscribing? I don't really ask people much to do that. It's annoying, but for what we're doing this month, I think I will. Thanks for watching. Happy trails.